So let's start the recording, and I think it's time for us. Oh no, we
Oh,
have we
we still
have
got time.
we still got time. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe another 30 seconds or so.
time to get on.
Darren, good to see you.
Take this time, guys, to send out some last minute messages. We'd love to see everyone on. If not, of course, this is available on replay. That's cool too. And hey, Tammy, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy to be here. I'll be coming on camera in 2 seconds.
Good morning, Betty Mac.
Just bear with us here, guys. There's a lot of construction going on back here in Africa. So we hop off. Just stay on. We'll be back right back on.
And it'll be good. Let's see who's a backup moderator in case we drop. Probably it'll be good to. Well, Jason Zhang is there to help out.
We got Jason.
But yeah, if we drop for any reason, just stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, so it's time to get started. Let's start the recording, and everything's good to go. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Champions Academy. We do this every Saturday. So welcome, everyone. We want to welcome you to our Champions Academy that we do every Saturday at this exact time. And we are so honored and privileged. In fact, this is our first time being not on this call, but really kind of being at the forefront, taking the lead. So we're uh, and it might be a little bit different, right? Because it might not be the same way as it's always been in the past, but we appreciate being here. And we are excited to share with all of you a little bit of some asked of us to share. And that was a little bit about our seven-figure journey, right? So
Right.
we want to share, and we have everyone on the line here that we want to include in this. This will be more of a conversation, right? Want to do. So excited to get started. For those who don't know us, my name is Dana Harper.
Amelia Harper.
And we are out here in West Africa. We started building this in the US in New York, but we reside here most of the year and then part of the year in
There
New
we
York.
go. His chair keeps like shrinking. So I'll keep shrinking down, and we get to where we're just half ahead. Let me know, and then we'll come back up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's jump into some details here. We're going to try to go through this and keep this relatively short, but we want to cover the topic, our seven-figure journey, because we believe in, and I've from my experience that sometimes the stories, there's so much lessons to learn, and so we're going to try to extract as much lessons as possible from our journey. And what has happened is that it caused us to kind of go back a little bit and reminisce, pull up pictures, look at some things. And even through the process of putting together our journey, it really brought to light major lessons, even for ourselves, that are reminders and things that we share. So we're actually going to be really pulling 5 lessons that we've learned from this journey, right? And so the first one, let's jump right into the first thing that I learned. And I'm going to share some pictures as we go through this, because we want to use this as an opportunity to kind of get to know everyone here too.
I have a question though for everyone. Like, how many of you, when you got started in this business, maybe how many of you are new? If you're brand new, let us know, first of all, if you're brand new. Welcome to the Champions Network, right? You're like, wait, what's going on here, right? Welcome to the Champions Network. I love when you're brand new in this industry, because that just means like, or in this business, that just means that you're just absolutely like wonderful. You have so much to accomplish in this business. 1 week in, welcome, Tammy. Wow.
Congratulations.
Since November, Cynthia, congratulations. Yes, yes, I love it. When you're brand new, are we still frozen or are we back? Can you see my head moving?
I think we're okay. We're
You're
back.
good? Okay, perfect. Yes, when you're brand new, it's like, oh my gosh, what are the possibilities? You know, what am I going to be able to accomplish? But how many of you like when you started this business or started in this industry, you know, you had the aspiration to build a business to 7 figures. Like, did you even see that as like on the horizon? Or do you see that as something that you can do here? Let me know in the chats. Like, I just want to know where your mind is at. Because that way we can talk. Okay. All right.
I know when I started, I didn't
See?
personally think it was even possible, but I love that Cindy, like she aspires to do that.
Katie says, I'm not sure. And that's wonderful. That's okay. Jerry says, good morning. All right. Good morning, Jerry. Yeah. So, you know, when you get started, I think for us, for me personally, let me pull this up. So she wanted to hit 6 figures. Yes, Coach Pam says I will. Yeah, so everyone, you know, you start out, you know, depending on what experience you've had in life, you're like, yes, I can do this. I'm gonna be just like them. But for some of us, no one could have convinced me that I would ever be that person that is doing a training for everyone that says the journey to 7 figures. I'm like, what? What? You know, like Louis laughing. It's true. Let's just be honest here. So we're gonna be very, very honest with you. When we got started, yes, we had dreams. We knew exactly the type of life we wanted to create for ourselves. But I personally, and he's going to speak, yes, we're a couple, but I'm a person. Like I always tell him, I'm not a symbiotic creature, okay? I'm not joined to your hip. You know, like I got my own stuff. You know, I didn't personally see myself like I knew what I wanted to do, but I just didn't know how I was going to get there. So what we can tell you, what I can tell you is this. It has been a journey, but it has been a journey of learning and you grow into it, right? It's okay to start from where you're like, man, I don't see it. But we're going to share with you what our journey has been and key lessons that took us to 7 figures. And we have others here that have hit 7 figures and above, right? But there are things that you learn along the way, and then it gets better and better and better, and then you get to where you know you can inspire others. Yeah, I apologize, guys. Our network is a bit choppy, but we're gonna try to make it through this. All right.
So, just to kind of give you an idea. Oh, this is the wrong. That's like some of the pictures I was able to collect. That's not all to share with you guys. Um, you know, just to give you an idea of, you know, because sometimes people see people who've had success in the industry and they say, oh, you know, if I could speak like them or I could be like them or I could, you know, and you know, I always tell people, listen, if you saw where we started, where we were when we got started in this industry, you would probably be more excited about your chances to win because we were not individuals that really at that time looked like we were on that path. I mean, this was us in the early years, but there was actually a picture I wanted to show of when my wife and I first got involved in the industry. Like for me, when I first got involved in the industry, I was fairly young. In fact, it was 2001 when I got involved in the industry. And, you know, I remember going to my first event in that industry and I went alone. I went to that event alone. And I remember people were telling me, you know, you should go to the events with other people. You should, you know, follow the system, do this, do that. And for me, I was questioning everything that they were telling me. I was questioning. And I didn't go to my first event alone. I went to, this is my first event ever, you know, corporate conference. And this was a person that I met at the event. We became friends, but I was there alone. And he went on to have more success initially than me because he brought people with him. So one of the first lessons that I learned in this industry very, very quickly was the need to be coachable. You know, on this journey, when I think back of the journey of 7 figures, the first step was we had to be coachable to the system. Why? Because first we had to learn the system. We had to learn what was working for other people. And I had to know something that I remember mentors said to me many, many times is that they said, you know, and the way I had to tell myself is that if somebody that's in my support group, right, is telling me something that's not going to benefit me, they're basically shooting themselves in the foot. Because how this industry works is that the better we do, the better everyone does, you know? The better I did, the better my support team did. So I had to stop questioning everything that I was being told, and instead I had to learn to be coachable. When I started being coachable to the system, I started listening to what they said and doing everything that they said. That was the first breakthrough that I know in my journey I experienced in taking the business to a level where it was starting to grow.
Right,
What
right.
do you
I mean,
think?
I mean, absolutely, because you have no other option. How many of you were in the industry, maybe in the early 2000s, maybe even late? Yeah, early to mid 2000s. I think the industry was a little different back then because it was just like, I mean, we were fierce, right? You built the business with like full intention. And coachability, yeah, see, we got a 90s in the house. If Mama Sandy's on, I know that's like 1940, I'm sorry, 1950s. Yes, so it's like you had to be coachable. There was no other way. If you weren't coachable, you didn't get the attention of your leaders. You didn't get, you just didn't get, the support, because especially if you're part of a really, really big team, you just didn't get the support. Thank goodness our industry has really changed, and we're and especially with Partner Co. Where we are now is a dream, guys. Like, it is a dream. That's why you see us like thrive. We're like, man, this place is wonderful. What a collaborative experience. The leaders are willing to help you. Doesn't matter where you are in this business, whose team, no team, doesn't matter. You get a lot of help, but it wasn't like that. So coachability was important. The next lesson we learned, and for me, this is very personal, is taking ownership, right? And taking ownership of your business. How many of you got started and you were just scared? The first emotion you feel is fear. And you feel that emotion and then it sticks. It doesn't go away. Yes, that is a yes. Fear. Call it, yeah, fear of everything, fear of rejection. What other fears do you have you experienced as you started your business? Share with us, I had a fear of, speaking in front of people. I had a fear of sounding like I'm stupid. I am not good with remembering like figures in the compensation plan. Never have been. Okay. He's the compensation plan guy. I just know we make a lot of money.
Fear of success, Darlene.
Fear of
That
success.
is a real fear.
Fear of doubt. Sonny, yes.
Fear of what other people are going to think of you, right?
Right. Look at that. Grew up poor and always looked at the wealthy as bad. Yep. Mindset. Discounted people, what they won't want. Fear of success, fear of feeling stupid. Yes. You see that? Look at how you talk about fears and the chats are like pouring in, right? Because this is real. Like that was me. Yeah. And so I learned though that those fears were not helping me to push forward, right? They were not helping me like get just to the next step. I felt like I could grow. I had all those fears, but I knew that there were so many possibilities because I could see the testimonials, I could see the experiences. So I learned right from the beginning the importance of taking ownership, and acting as if. Everybody say act as if. Have the fear, but you act as if, right? This was my husband and I think this was before we even got married, Dana. We were engaged. Okay. Yes, y'all. I'm trying to get back to that size. Drops. Yes. We were engaged, and at the same time, we had joined forces. Becky and James can completely relate to this. We had joined forces. We were building our business together. We were failing and falling along the way, but we were so in love, guys. And we were in love with our vision. We were in love with our future. If you're in love with your vision, just put that in the chat. We were just, so many things were happening at that time while we were growing this business. And
but you see us the way we're dressed.
Yeah.
We were taking ownership. We were acting as if we were already chairperson number 3.
Let's talk about those suits that you're looking at. We were so broke. I met him with that suit. He had that suit since he started in the industry at the age of 18.
Okay, here's my philosophy, right? You can have the same suit, just change the audience.
That's right. So if you only got one suit, you're in the right company. You're in good company right here. Okay. And that was my suit. That suit right there, that's why I went to job interviews. That's what I wore to anything that was supposed to be an official thing. I just changed the inner shirt, right? Yes. So that was those were our suits. And that's it. We showed up in that, and we learned a few things when it comes to taking ownership. Number one is self-leadership, right? Taking full responsibility of not only yourself, but your team. Do you know who is, okay, when it comes to building a team, I've heard people say, I don't have anybody in my team. Is that true? Yes or no? If you have no one else in your team, is that true that you have nobody in your team? Like if you don't have 3 or 4 people in both legs? You, right?
Everyone's
Yes.
saying no, yeah.
No, exactly. You are numero uno, team number 1.
In fact, you are the only person that you can control in your team.
Yep,
You. So you are really the most important person of your team
that's right.
because you have the ability to control
Yes.
what you do.
Because at the end of the day, nobody is going to take responsibility for your success. You're the only one that can get up in the morning and run after it. Nobody's in your head. Nobody knows your dreams. Yeah, you can say it out loud, but isn't it true that our dreams are way deeper? They're layers, right? There's what we say, and then there's what's inside here, right? So you have to have almost like a mindset shift, right? No one's responsible for you. And also know that excuses are going to hold you back. You have to just step into it. And then another thing is once you start adding people to your team, you then realize that people will mirror what you do. You have to be the hardest worker on the team. You have to be the one that's showing up. How many of you agree that when you look at your success line, those who are taking the lead in the team, Mr. James Zhang and Becky, they do all these calls. They're doing the presentations. They're 7, 8-figure earners, and they're still doing all those things. What does that tell you? You see what I'm saying? And that's what we learned along the way. You have an opportunity right now to take ownership of your business. For example, we're doing a team-wide Champions Network drop talks. How many of you have ever done a drop talk? Right? Yeah, we got a few people
See
who
you,
have.
Eric.
See you, Eric. Let me see. I'm just checking it out. Yes.
Louis, Katie.
Yes,
well done.
Katie. Yes, great job. Now, if you're brand new, we understand. I was new too. I remember like scared, kicking my boots. So when you're new, it's okay to plug in and use your leadership, but as time goes on, know that your business will only grow as far as that.
Mhm.
You're building your business based on a leader's time or on a leader's availability or on their schedule. While those who are on the IPAs and sharing their successes, guess what? They're meeting with people and they're having these drop talks outside of team build hours, right? They've taken ownership of their business, and that's where success comes into play.
So as a quick recap, right? First, we learned to be coachable, following the system. Second, we start taking personal responsibility, personal ownership in our business. Really then on our journey, the third step that really was the next transition that I noticed in our business was when we started really studying interpersonal skills, soft skills, studying people. We started learning how to get people to like us because we're now trying to build a team, right? And we're getting we're making a little bit of effort, right? We're getting a few people to join the team, and now we're able to show up to events with others, right? But the most important people to show up to your event is us and our family. There's our daughter Annabelle, right, at this event, and and this is a whole another story. We're going to come back and talk about events towards the end, but we started realizing that we need to build teams, which means we have to get people to like us. We got to get people to to want to follow us and be around us. So we started working on ourselves. We started working on how to communicate better with people, effective communication. We started reading books. In fact, I started diving into books all around those topics. Personality Plus by Florence Littauer is all about the different personalities that drive each person, right? And if you can learn what a person's personality is, you know how to talk to them in a way that they hear what they want to hear, right? Instead of us talking to people the way that we want to be spoken to, right? There's a book called The Platinum Rule which I think it was Tony Alessandro, if I'm not mistaken. Platinum rule, he said, the golden rule is do it to others as you would want to be done to yourself. But the platinum rule, when it comes to communication, it's not that way. Don't talk to people the way you want to be talked to. The platinum rule says, talk to people the way that they want to be spoken to, right? And this is all about personality. So we started studying personalities. I remember when we first got into this, there was a test you took. And we took the test, and then we read the section of the book about us, and it was like somebody was like watching us in the mirror or watching us in the window, writing about us. It was so specific. I was like, oh my goodness. And then so I had my wife take the test, and then it was like so specific about her. And then it was like everyone, our family, we started having our parents take the test and our friends take the test. And it got to a point where for a period of time, every time I met someone new, I was like, hi, my name's Dana, take this test.
He really was doing that. He really was doing that. And it's just, in the beginning, I'll be really honest with you guys. I rejected, because I felt like, oh, I can do this. I can do me. I don't need anybody. I don't need to learn people. I don't need to know anything about them, you know? Sorry, y'all, it's Saturday. It's clean the house day. Yeah, so, you know, I felt like I didn't need to do any of those things. However, I realized that I was not attracting people to my business, because people can kind of read your energy, right? Do you agree that people can feel your energy? They know if you're interested in them or not. And so I realized that even though I did feel like I wanted to do something meaningful for people, I needed to learn how to be appealing to them, how to attract them, how to have them listen to me and hear me the way they needed to take that information in. I want to address Katie's question. She says, do you think if people see you working hard, they say to themselves they can't do what you do? Well, how would you answer that question?
No, it's a great question. So there's the two sides to that question, right? I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to people who are being introduced to the opportunity, right? We don't want to make it feel like that they have to quit their job and go full force into an opportunity like this, right? I mean, because that's not the truth.
We didn't.
We didn't.
Multiple jobs.
So from that standpoint, I am a big believer that every person should be doing their partner co-business part-time in the beginning. They should continue with all the other things that are important in their life. They should have their job. They should have their spiritual routine. They should have everything, their family routine. Everything should be there, and they should be building their business part-time. Because then when they're building it part-time and they're sharing it with people, yeah, I'm building this part-time. Other people say, wow, okay, if you could do it part-time, I could do it part-time. Now, during that part-time that you're putting into the business, yes, you should work hard. And I do tell people I work hard during my part-time efforts with my business.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
But it's part-time.
Yeah.
And anyone can do part-time. So I hope that answers that question.
It answers it beautifully. And Becky also answers, say, if you're working hard, but look like you're having fun, they'll be inspired. You're working hard, but if it looks like you're dragging your feet, then they'll not. Exactly. People are watching you.
I love that.
Thank you so much, Becky. That's so true. People are watching you. You know, do you know how many people have joined our journey just because they're like, man, you're living. I see what you're doing. I see like all these people that you're working with, these events you're going to. In fact, I don't know if she's on the line. Nurse Jackie, this is someone I met using our system. We're going to talk about system in a second. Met on social media. And do you know one of the things that turned her from just watching to actually getting in, and now she's a partner? She's like, I saw you winning. I saw you, like, you traveled, you went to this training and you're doing this. And I was like, man, that's awesome. See what I'm saying? So people are watching that. So if it looks like you're doing things and you're having fun while building your business, it's very, very attractive, guys. And our business is attractive. It's fun.
Yeah. And as it's so true. I mean, when you do something that you love, it's like the saying, if you do a vocation that you love, you never work a day in your life. And that's how we feel. And that's how we want to project it to other people. If you're really doing it and you're loving it, then other people will be attracted to that as well. But again, we were reading books, Personality Plus, Platinum Rule,
How to Win Friends and Influence
How
People.
to Win Friends and Influence People. Incredible book.
Dale Carnegie.
Right? By Dale Carnegie.
If you haven't read that book, it's amazing.
Yeah. How to get anyone to do anything and never feel helpless again. That's like a secret sauce kind of book. I mean, so I would do the other ones first, but if you really, really want to know how to like get people,
he is the master at this.
It's a great
in fact, that's how he recruited me as a wife.
And so we got to a point where we were indulged in personal development. You know, here's us with Brian Tracy. Many of you might know who that he is. And we just started diving into personal development. We started, you know, learning everything we could so that we could attract people and have people like us, right? That was the whole idea. And then what started happening was we started seeing the next stage of business, right? We started seeing people started joining us now. People started, you know, enjoying being around us. So it was more than just business now. It was actually
Oh, Lord.
enjoying ourselves, right? It was, you know, going on road trips together. You know, anytime we could go to an event and we could do a road trip, we did it, right? And getting people together, able to, you know, have this community, these gatherings. This was what was the next stage of our journey. And it was so needed. And I'm telling you, if we didn't spend time on that personal development, if we didn't spend time on learning how to be more attractive individuals, our journey would have been, you know, not to that level at that point. So that was very important.
I think I'm smiling this much because seeing those pictures, of course, is like really like, man. But just I'm thinking about us here in the Champions Network and all the new pictures that we have. And though that's your journey, that's each and every one of our journey together as we grow this business to 7 figures and more. That's your story, right? Like, is the beginning of something so wonderful. That's why we believe so much in what we're building here together with each and every one of you. Like, we have something special. We know the possibility. We know it. We see it. Yes, absolutely.
So the next thing my wife's going to dive into and talk about. So again, we learned to be coachable. We learned to take ownership in our business. We learned now to work on ourselves to become better. And then the next stage that really helped us break through to the next level was leadership. We'll talk a little bit about leadership.
So when you talk about leadership, a lot of people think leadership is about managing people. You know what I'm saying? Managing people. How many of you know that leadership has nothing to do with managing? You can't manage people. I hope you know that. And if you didn't, that's a wake-up call. You cannot manage people. We're made with free will. It is impossible. Like, you cannot manage people. However,
especially in this industry.
Exactly.
We're building a volunteer army here in Partner Co. and Network Marketing. This is a volunteer army. It is this, and in my opinion, this is the industry that is a necessity for true leadership development. So every one of us that wants to get to that level of 6 and 7 figure income, we need to focus on how to improve our leadership.
Absolutely. And I love Danielle said, I can even manage myself. Same here, girl. Right? Like, it's crazy. So, but leadership is all about inspiring others to take action, right? Creating a culture where everyone can work together for a common goal, inspiring them to want to do it, right? And we have incredible examples of leadership on this team, right? And you can kind of, I mean, the Champions Network is absolutely fantastic. So there are 3 things, though, when it comes to leadership, when you want to inspire others, is building a community, right? Having the right culture with the right type of values. And also, the third thing you want to, I always want to slip into my African accent. Because I get passionate. The third thing that leadership also inspires others to do is the right habits when they're building the business. For example, subscriptions, right? This business is all about what? Reoccurring income. And so as a community and as a team, you want to make sure that you are inspiring others to do the right habits in order to build their business. So building a strong community is so important because people don't join the business, they join a community. They want to see others winning. How many of you agree? For example, when we saw Partner Co., it was a picture of people at an event together. That was our first look at Partner Co. We didn't know the compensation plan. We didn't know any of that. Our first experience with Partner Co. was the community. And when we saw the community, the diversity and just how amazing it was incredible. So as a leader, you want to really lead, and inspire people to want to be a part of a community. And your community has to be attractive, right? It has to be positive. You want to be positive. And I think we're doing so well with that when it comes to being in this business. It's all about sharing a common vision. We're all working together towards a common goal. We've got Punta Cana, driving into Punta Cana. We've got all the IPAs all focused on that. As a community, we're like, no, it's not me qualifying, it's us. We're all going together, right? And creating the right culture. We've met incredible leaders that are masters at creating a culture. If you live in the same area, why aren't you meeting for dinners? Why aren't you hanging out together, right? I wish we had a lot of you in our backyard, because those are the things, it's the things that you do outside of this, Zooms and that's the culture, that's the community. And of course, a leader will also inspire people to show up at the events, because if we don't live in each other's city, because we build such a virtual business, we're going to be showing up at convention.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, this is next level stuff, guys. I mean, this is what it really is. And again, your team, as you are attracting people to you because they like to be around you, because you've worked on yourself, personally developing yourself. Now you're trying to do everything you can to create this, as my wife said, this community, this culture, where it's more than just a team. It's more than just business. It's a family. And that's why, oftentimes when people join and they're, someone on the line said they've been with us now for a week or a couple months. Sometimes when they join and they enter into that Facebook community, I'll even say, welcome to the family.
Into the family.
Because that's the way we look at it, right? I mean, our organization, and now an extension, all of Champions Network is an extension of our immediate family. It's our family. And so, very, very, very excited that, we're all together with this.
Real quick, what is one thing you can tell us that you love about this community that you're in? If you're brand new, I know you're new, it's okay. What do you expect out of this community? But if you've been a part of us a week, a month, let us know. Like, what is something that you love? Can you share that? Support. Adriana said support. Believe in me. Absolutely. Very welcoming, says Katie. Fellowship. Yes. Yes. Very spiritual. Support. Time together. God-centered. Absolutely. I love how everyone feels like family. Yes. And isn't that so needed right now? Giving, right? So we want to shape a winning culture here. Continue in this. You are an extension of every person in a family is an extension of all these amazing values that you're sharing. Empathy, right? Respect for one another. This is the heartbeat of our business. And this allows people to stay. We always had the #1 retention in our last company. Do you know that? #1, our team, #1 retention. Because, right, Mr. Louis, he's shaking his head. Absolutely. Because we were just one, right? And that's what we have here. It's absolutely wonderful. And of course, in a community, you always want to recognize what everyone is doing. Nothing is too small. Congratulations, Mrs. Sunny. Congratulations, everyone who are hitting team lead. Like, congratulations. We want to elevate, celebrate each and every one of you. And we do it together. Support each other on the drop talks. Be the first person on, support that drop talk, invite a guest, right? Because we're all an extension of the community. We're working together.
And one of the great benefits, one of the absolute greatest benefits that I definitely feel privileged, that I feel in our situation has been the case, is once you get to this point where you are, leaders, that you're really working on, you're getting a group together, you're working on culture. Now you're going to start attracting people that are actually even better than you are.
Oh my
and
God.
That has definitely been the case for us. We over the years have just been fortunate to have had some incredible people come and work alongside with us, and many of them do better than us, and we're their #1 cheerleaders. We are their #1 cheerleaders, and it brings me there's more pictures, but we're not running out of time, so I'm not going to share them. But some of the pictures that are the most closest to my heart is seeing other people's promotions, right? Seeing other people, right? I mean, I remember our first big check. There's a picture of us holding our first big check. And guess what? Right next to us, there's 2, 3, 4 other people holding the same check in our team, right? And these are big checks, right? And
I want to see more photos.
and these things were, this is what's exciting, right? And so, and you have people that join your team that are going to be better leaders than you. You're going to have people join your team that can create culture better. Miss Marifel Kamako Pematuan and Jessica Pematuan, they are amazing at building culture. Amazing, right? We've learned so much from them. And here's the thing, if you want to grow to a 7-figure business, is you have to let that happen. You have to be okay with people being better than you in your team. You have to be okay with people making more money than you in your team.
We had some of our direct like sponsors, they hit 7 figures before us.
Mhm. Yeah.
And we cheer them on, like it's okay, because that's how you grow. You know, everyone has to win or else you don't win. And of course, I always tell people 7 figures just mean you have a whole bunch of 6-figure earners.
Yeah.
You have multiple 7-figure earners as well in your business. That is how you grow this business in this industry.
Yeah. So you start off following the system. You're coachable. You take ownership in your business. You work on yourself, build your interpersonal skills. You then start working on your leadership skills so that you can lead a team. But the last piece that really, because at this point we were 6-figure earners, right?
Yes.
At this point, if you're doing all these 4 things, you can be a 6-figure earner without a doubt. But really what took us to that next level to break us through 7 figures was the last part, the last lesson that we learned in our journey.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the importance of having systems of growth. Because up to this point, without systems in place, right, it's really based on you being that leader that you've worked so hard to become. And your team looks at you as being the leader. And here's the problem with this is if you create a culture where the organization is leader dependent and not system dependent, it only lasts so long, right? And what happens for leaders, you and other leaders in your team, is they get burnt out.
Yes.
Has anyone ever heard of people in this industry say, I'm burnt out. I'm
done.
tired of this industry, right?
I'm done.
And that's a tale. What's the saying? Tall tale, whatever. It's a sign.
Telltale sign.
It's a sign they don't have systems in place, proper systems in place.
Right.
And when I say a proper system, that's more than saying our system is you get people on the phone with me, or you get people on the phone and I'll present to them. That's telltale. Thank you. That's it. It's more than that. We found when we started realizing that when we could start putting in some automation, when we started putting in systems where people could rely on a tool to be available instead of relying on when we were available.
Absolutely.
It allowed the business to just,
well, Becky said scale.
Exactly. Right. That's what it is about.
And James and Becky and all of the incredible leaders in the Champions Network have created, we have such an incredible, how many of you love the system of growth that's happening? Are you seeing the explosion that's happening? Yes. Right. Someone says in real estate, there's no system. Yes, absolutely. It's just a constant grind. Who wants to be grinding to build this business? Absolutely not. We want to, the next phase of each and every one of your businesses is we're traveling. We're just traveling together and having a good time. All right. I'm all about that lifestyle. Okay. Lifestyle is what we're trying to create here. And the only way to create lifestyle is by having the proper system and using the system. Yes. Right. Yes. Use the system. It works. It's happening for everyone. I don't have to go into it because all week you're being trained on the system. We have the fast start training. We have the IPA calls. We have the breakfast of champions. We have and your leaders have amazing, parts of the system, and they all work. I can't even keep up with the amount of people just from our social media strategy. Boards app. Right? The Boards app has everything. If you just have the Boards app, you can grow your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it. Right?
And here's what you have to understand. We have something so special here within this Champions Network, because we have a collaboration of teams in a company that collaborates, everyone collaborates and shares best practices. And everyone's not only sharing best practices, but they're sharing systems of success, systems that are actually working, and it's multiple people putting it together and allowing everyone to use it. And as my wife mentioned, they work. And don't take this for granted, because in our last company, we had to go and create the system and spend the money and the time and the effort and put these things together, right? And when we were looking at other companies, we had it in our mind that we were going to have to do that all over again.
We were literally just about to recreate a whole new system, and then we found PartnerCo, and then we found Designs, and then we saw, oh my gosh, they've done it all. Sign me up. It's just, and we have so many because we weren't just thinking about ourselves. We were thinking if someone decided, okay, you know what, I need a new start, I need something to work for me like now, can this work for them? And absolutely, we have so many that have joined, and from week one, they're already making income because a lot of people need that now money, right? They need that, they need things to work for them now. And if you just utilize the system, done for you, and Mackie says, done for you, the cure for burnout. Amen. You better take a dose.
So, as a recap, right? You stay coachable to the system. If you're brand new, again, all these steps we went through, we had to learn these on our own. We're hoping to fast track you by sharing the lessons we learned. But everyone's on their own journey, right? So if you're brand new, it's just the first thing, which is be coachable, right? Follow the system, learn the system, because that's the first step anyways. Once you do that, then you're going to make sure that you take ownership, and you can do that right away. You can do that from day one. Take ownership of your business. Take control. If it's going to be, it's up to me. Number three, start working on yourself. You can do that early on. Personal development. In fact, that's why we have BOC calls, Breakfast of Champions calls, every Monday through Friday. Those are partly personal development that can help you work on yourself. Start working on leadership, because you will need to be a leader if you want to make 6 and 7 figure earnings. And make sure that you have a system of growth, which we all do. We all have it. So now it's a matter of using it and teaching your team to use it. And when you do, you'll be like us, where we showed up at a convention one day. We had no clue. Literally, we didn't know. We showed up at the convention and they, sorry, wrong picture. That's not the one I want to show you. We showed up to a convention and they came over to us and they gave us these pens. And they said, we're just sitting in the audience. We didn't even know. And they're like, congratulations. We're like, what's this? And they're like, this is your $1 million pins that you've earned with us so far. And again, this was with one company. It's not, we're with, this is our second company. And in this particular point now, and PartnerCo is our third company. But we're like, it kind of caused by surprise. We're like, wow. And so this is something that we look back and we say, okay, we see how we got there, but more importantly now, and other people, right? We helped other people in our team become 7-figure earners, but now it's like, let's see how many more can happen now, because we're with a better company, we're with a better compensation plan, we have more products, we have more countries, we have more systems in place, everything is in place. We want to fast track every single one of you to help you hit your goals of whatever that is, right? But if your goals are to make 6 or 7 figures, let's do it. It's here, it's available, and we want to show up at a PXP one day and be sitting next to you. You're in one of the front rows, and Darren Zobrist or John Wasworth comes up to you and hands you a pin and says, "Congratulations! I don't know if you realize it, but you are a $1 million earner here with PartnerCo," right? How awesome would that be? We're looking forward to that. So
now that you've seen our journey in a quick summary, do you see yourself on your journey to 7 figures? Did you notice that a lot of the things that we mentioned here is everything that we have currently? We have the community, we have the systems, you have you, right? You're your number one team partner. So you have every piece that you need in order to be successful and to grow your business 5, 6, 7 figures. And what's even better than that? You have us, you have the community, you have each and every one of us that are here on this line.
Miss Adrian asked a question, why we moved from other companies. Just so you know, my wife and I are not people that jump from company to company at all. My first company, I stayed 14 years with that company. And after 14 years, it was just time to go. But we had success in that first company. Second company, the owners actually passed away. So that's kind of the long story in a nutshell. But there's actually a nice interview that was done by James Zhang. He interviewed us when we first got on board, and we went through the details of why we chose PartnerCo. And I would highly recommend it. You can find it on the Champions Network YouTube channel, I believe, or just YouTube it. You can find it to answer that question.
Absolutely. Wow. So grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for taking time on your Saturday to join us on the Champions Academy. If you don't have any other questions, Great interview, Donna Simbula. I love you, Donna. Congratulations on all your success, Shelly. Yes. PartnerCo is a cut above everyone else. Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and mute everyone. Or I can't do that. Moderator's gonna unmute.
Jason Zhang can do that. So if we're all finished, go ahead and unmute. We can say goodbye. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time and attention today. We love you all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. That was great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you and God
so much.
bless.
Love you
Awesome.
too.
Thank you, thank you,
Love you
thank
guys.
you.
Love you,
Love
Amelia,
you.
Dana.
Muchas gracias. You
Feels
guys
blessed
are
to learn from you.
amazing.
Thank you.
I feel so special. Thank you so much.
You
Thank you,
are
guys.
special.
I
You
took
are
a lot of
special.
notes. I took a lot of
Thank
notes.
you for
Thank
following
you.
our journey.
Let's do
Adriana,
this.
you are special.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
gonna
Thank you.
cry.
What
I'm
time
gonna
did you go to
cry.
bed this morning, Hubs?